Hey everyone, welcome back to the Soundbite. My name is Andrew, and today we're going to be jumping back into some Lovebites, doing a deep dive into more of their stuff. It's been an absolutely wild ride so far with a couple of tracks that I've done so far, with Hammer of Wrath and Holy War, and yeah, I've been blown away by how good they are, and really kind of tick the boxes for me as far as like what the kind of stuff that I really like. Not that any of the bands that I have done before have been stuff that I haven't liked. But this one's been particularly special for some reason. And it's just because of that thrash sort of side of them, which I really love. It's just one of my favorite genres. So I'm looking to really sort of get right into this band. And so I've taken on all the suggestions from everyone, and I've been trying to sort of pick through some of the ones that I feel might be the ones that people want me to check out more than the others, I guess. And one particular track that I'm going to be doing today is a song called "Break the Wall." It's from a show in Tokyo in 2020. So I'm going to check this one out. And thank you to, I want to grab these shout outs here. Thank you to Marcel Cox one and a Donegal as well. So thank you very much for those suggestions. So I'm very keen to check this out because so far this band has been so good to me, as far as like just that. Yeah, that full-on kind of thrash and speed and precision and just yeah, it's been a great thing to sort of check out and discover. I haven't really kind of felt this way about any bands for quite a while. So I'm looking forward to just really investing a bit of time to check them out. So I'm going to be checking out obviously this live video first. So obviously the live performance seems to be another thing for this band, just like band-maid in the morning. So which is fine. It's just get to see the visual side of the band, which is obviously part of their whole thing as well, I guess. So let's get into it. Lovebites, Break the Wall. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Something about this kind of music that just sort of gets me going. Jeez. That was a tight bit right there. That whole thing with the drums and then like the riffs, like it was just on point. It was so good. Again, like I'm just like in the last one, Hammer of Wrath. I kind of get a big sort of testament sort of feel. So I do wonder if that's one of their influences. I'm guessing obviously thrash metal is one of their influences, but is Testament kind of one of the band's kind of influences, I guess you could say. Let me know in the comments if you know anything about where the band's been deriving a lot of their sort of their influences and stuff, because I'd be very intrigued to sort of find out about where they sort of come from musically, because I do get a lot of that, because there's a lot of thrash bands that kind of, back in the 80s that kind of forged and pioneered the way for like all the bands came after them and stuff. But a lot of them have distinctively their own sort of sound and stuff, like your Metallicas and your Exodus and Slayers and stuff. And Testament had their own sound as well. And because I'm quite familiar with a lot of these bands, I kind of can pick them out just by hearing them, and I hear testament from their music, you know. Like some bands might sound a little like Metallica, or some bands might sound a little like, you know, Megadeth or whatever, you know. And that's a band that I'm hearing. And just again, like, you know, like I said before, like this is just the way that I'm processing sort of what I'm hearing and stuff, and making that comparison. And that's just what I'm getting, you know. So and I'm not saying that in any kind of like, you know, well, this is how they are and that's it kind of thing, you know. But that's just the first thing that I'm hearing. I know that initially that when I first heard them on the Holy War video, that I was sort of saying power metal, and now I'm not really getting a lot of that stuff. But I will say that the difference between, and the reason why I say this, the difference between the power metal and thrash metal side is that thrash metal tends to be more aggressive. And I'm hearing more of an aggressive sort of side of this band. Like they've got an aggressive tone in the way that they sort of play, and the sort of the sound, and the sort of the tightness of it really is making what it makes it so aggressive as well, you know. So that's really interesting to me to see how they've got this sort of aggressive side, despite the fact that they don't look like an aggressive band. You know what I mean? Like there's some bands that kind of come out and they have this sort of like, you know, aggressive dark sort of tone, and this band has the complete opposite of that. They kind of blow away those kind of cliches or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So which is really cool. Like it's just kind of just sort of messing around with the sort of ideas of what metal bands should be and all this kind of stuff, which I really love. You know, there are certain bands, which I won't get into right now, who kind of blew the door off of that years and years ago, and people didn't like it. And, you know, there was a lot of pushback and stuff. And I was one of the few people that kind of embraced it, because I love that change, and I love people who kind of like do things differently and stuff, you know, because after a while, certain things just get really old and boring and kind of just menial or whatever, you know. So it's great to see a band kind of just, you know, push the envelope and kind of do something a bit different, you know, which is really cool. I'm just trying to figure out the reverse thing, but I couldn't find it on my thing there. So, yeah, I keep forgetting about it. Sorry. Oh, the slow part here, like a bit of an interlude. Just want to quickly say that just before I get back into it, the solo was fantastic. But what I really like about it is it's not just a sort of like going full on blistering kind of thrash, you know, sort of solo-y, notey kind of stuff. There's actually some it feels like there's some thought put into it, and there's like a melody and stuff like that as well, you know. So it actually has like some substance to the solo, which is really cool. Not just the solo, for the sake of it, you know what I mean? So that was really important to note, because there are some bands out there who kind of, I feel, throw in solos for the sake of it, and it kind of just feels like a hot mess, you know. That was really good. So I just wanted to point that out. Okay, there's a bit of a sort of classical sort of feel to this one. she telling the crowd to keep quiet there? Or was she doing something else? It felt like she was telling them to say, shoot. That's a cool riff. I like how they're staying with it as well. There we go. Lovebites break the wall. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. That was really cool. Yeah, it's a nice surprise to sort of see a band doing that. I know the genre itself is nothing like groundbreaking. Obviously, you know, thrash metal's been around for a long time, and it hasn't really kind of changed a lot over the years. I mean, there was a bit of a resurgence a few years back with all these sort of bands coming out, the sort of second or third wave or whatever you want to call it, like your Municipal Waste and Toxic Holocaust and stuff. Um, but then that kind of sort of died off, and sort of people have been sort of moving over to other different genres and stuff. So it's great to see like a band kind of still doing it as well, but just in a sort of different way, like in a different context and stuff, you know. So kind of breathing some new life into it, I guess, you know. But I can't help it, like, you know, it's one of the genres and one of the styles of music that I really, really love. So when a band does it, I'm right into it, you know. But not just like just does it, but like does it really well. Because there is a difference, you know. Any band can kind of do thrash metal kind of stuff, you know, but when they do it well like that and then do it differently at the same time, that's just, you know, that's just a different thing altogether. I'm going to pay attention to that, you know, obviously. So, that's yeah, fantastic. I'm absolutely loving it. I can't wait to find out what else to get into and tr sort of dive more into their stuff. Keep the comments coming along as for more suggestions, but I do have a list that I've sort of noted down from the other videos and stuff, so I will sort of get to those. But any particular one that people or other people have been suggesting, feel free to sort of like comment and let me know which ones out of those, you know, to do more than others. Because at the moment I've been kind of just getting a lot of like different songs. And I'm trying to look for the ones that like more people are kind of jumping on, that like you should do this one that this other person suggested or whatever. You know what I mean? So the sort of more popular stuff, because I just don't know where to start. Like, in all honesty, I mean, I guess I could just do it in order, I suppose, but I don't know like which ones are the best ones to go for. So just let me know. Just yeah, keep them coming along. Because I'm going to be just yeah doing a deep dive into this band. I'm going to be doing a lot of this stuff. So. And I'm going to really sort of research on the band and see what they've got as far as releases, because I'll definitely get their albums and stuff as well. Just based on the stuff that I've heard so far, like I'm a fan now. Like I'm a fan. Like I love the stuff that I've heard so far. So I've got to get more into this stuff. So anyway, thank you for tuning in as always. Please subscribe if you haven't. Thank you to those who have, and I'll see you in the next video.